everyone says trust yourself. But what if that voice in your head isn't actually helping you? You know, the one whispering, who's going to hire you, or you're not good enough. Well, I'm here to tell you that voice is lying. You are more than good enough, and it's time you started believing it. In this video, you're going to learn 5 powerful mindset shifts that will help you ditch the doubt and return to work with confidence. So let's get started. Number 1 is to reframe your thoughts. There is this amazing book by Carol Dweck, and it's called Mindset, the New Psychology of Success, where it breaks down fixed versus growth mindsets. At a very high level, someone who has a fixed mindset believes that their skills and abilities are fixed, while someone with a growth mindset believes that their skills and abilities are able to be developed. An example of fixed versus growth mindset thoughts would be something like, I'm not good at drawing. Case closed, no further conversation is needed. While someone with a growth mindset would say something like, how do I get better at drawing? Recognizing that they do have the potential to improve. Now, when you are about to embark on your job search journey, having the ability to reframe thoughts from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is a game changer. Instead of thinking, I don't have that skill, you could think, what do I need to do to get that skill? Or instead of thinking, no one is going to hire me, think, how do I find companies that are going to value what I bring to the table? Simply shifting the way that you think is going to be so powerful as you embark on this adventure ahead. If you would like me to do a deeper dive into the growth versus fixed mindset approaches, just let me know in the comments below. And number 2 is to remind yourself that the experiences you had before you stepped away from the paid workforce are still valuable. Have you ever seen the show Amazing Race? If not, it is where partners race around the world and complete challenges. In a recent episode, there was a husband and wife duo, and the challenge was to make authentic Napoleon pizza. And they were actually in Italy. In this particular challenge, only one of the teammates could compete. The woman said that she would do it, and she was so excited. She kept bringing up the fact that her first job was at Domino's at 16 years old, and she made the best pizza. Mind you, she's now well into her 30s. So this experience was 15 plus years ago. But her excitement of having already mastered this task, even though it was so long ago, gave her the confidence to go in there and go from 3rd place to 1st place. And that is the confidence that I want for you, to realize that you do have this skill. I don't care if it's 5 years old or if it's 10 years old. The fact that you have a certain skill is what is so important, not necessarily the time that has gone by since you've used it. If you figured it out once, you can figure it out again, except it's gonna be way easier because you already have a strong base to pull from. So don't look at your experience before your career break as irrelevant, because it is relevant. If you need to brush up on those skills, that's fine, but just own the fact that you have done it and you're confident that you can do it again. Which brings me to point number 3, focus on what you have gained. There's a misnomer that what you did during your career break doesn't count because you haven't received a paycheck for it. Now, that is completely baseless. These skills and the experiences that you have developed during your career break are relevant. In fact, they could be game-changing. Now, I'm going to bring up another book where I found a really fascinating fact. I didn't mean for this video to be a book review, but it looks like it might be ending up that way. This book is called Tending by Amy Henderson, and I'm actually going to read verbatim. This is from a study done by Ruth Feldman, who's spent 20 years studying the impacting of parenting on the brain. And here's what she says. The adult human brain is capable of the greatest plasticity during the year surrounding the birth of one's child. And that's true for both mom and dads. The greatest potential for plasticity is in the first 6 years of a child's life and in the first year of parenting for adults. Now let that sink in. We talk about how pivotal those years are for children from 0 to 6 because that's when they're absorbing so much, where they're growing so much, and where they're learning so much. The same is true during that first year for adults when they become a parent. During that first year, your brain is on overdrive, growing and making connections and learning. That is valuable and that can directly benefit a company. So I'm actually going to challenge you. Write down 5 things that you have gained during your career break. You might be surprised to find you don't even stop at 5. You just keep going. So remember, in addition to reminding yourself about all that you have done before your career break, also focus on what you've gained during your career break. And number 4 is to speak to yourself as you would a good friend or your child. If you are starting on your job search and you are just feeling kind of downtrodden by all that is entailed with this, think about how you would talk to a good friend if they told you they were experiencing the same thing. So let's say you went out to dinner with a great friend and she's telling you how incredibly difficult it is for her to find a job, that she's feeling down about herself, she's doubting herself. What would you say to her? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say, yeah, why even bother? No, I'm sure you would encourage her. You would lift her up. You would strategize on ways that she can be successful in her job search. So talk to yourself as you would to her. Or if it helps, put your child in that position. If your child came to you and said, oh, I am really excited to try out for the soccer team, but you realize that they haven't actually played soccer in 5 years, you wouldn't say, oh, well, there's no point in even trying out. No, you would most likely say, all right, well, let's get to practicing. Let's get you up to speed so you can be successful. Talk to yourself that way. Figure out ways that you can be successful, because if your friends and your children deserve your support, then so do you. And number 5 is to recognize that you are not the first person to navigate this journey. I get it. Right now, it can feel like you're just rowing in this boat alone and that nobody else can even understand what you're going through. But millions of women have navigated back to the workforce after a career break, and you can too. Look to others to figure out how they did it. Learn from others, figure out the strategies that work for them. Because one of the biggest mindset barriers is when we think we're alone in this process. And as soon as we open up and we realize that we're not, and that other people are there to support us, that can be the shift that you need to think to yourself, I can do this, because I know that you can do this. Now, if you're looking for a video that will give you practical steps on how to jumpstart your job search process, make sure to check out my video here.